You ever have one of those moments, you've got a fantastic idea, but when you say it in a meeting, it just lands with a thud? Or worse, you feel like you're being talked over even though you know you're onto something. Yeah, we've all been there. So let's get into it, because today we're going to break down how you can totally transform your influence. And the secret? It's not about changing what you say, but how you say it. And that right there, that's the core truth we're starting with. Think about it. Your voice isn't just a sound machine for words. No, it's carrying your authority, your confidence, your actual power to get people on your side. You know, this whole idea of being the unheard leader, man, it's a story a lot of us know all too well, right? It's that super frustrating feeling when you have the perfect answer, but it just doesn't make an impact. And the crazy thing is, the root of the problem is usually something we don't even think about. All right, so let's meet Lisa. She's a team lead, and look, she's smart, she's totally competent, and her ideas, they're really, really good. On paper, you'd think she'd be this super influential leader. But then you see her in a meeting, and her delivery is just flat. You know? Monotone. Kind of rushed. She just droned through her updates, talking a mile a minute with no change in her voice, almost like she was just trying to get it over with. And the result? Well, it was exactly what you'd expect. In those meetings, you'd see eyes start to wander, people checking their phones. All her key points just got lost in the noise, and nothing, I mean nothing, she said actually stuck. It was like all her great ideas were just vanishing into thin air. But then, Lisa made a shift. And here's the thing, it wasn't some massive, complicated overhaul of who she was or what she was saying. Nope, it was just one simple but incredibly powerful change to her sound. So what was it? What do you think was the one little shift that changed everything for her, that took her from being ignored to, well, being someone people couldn't ignore? Here's the secret. It had nothing to do with changing what she said. Remember, her ideas were already solid. The real transformation, the game changer, happened when she changed how she said it. It's like the music of her voice suddenly became just as important as the lyrics. And you know what? It all came down to her mastering just two super high-impact techniques. First, lowering her voice when she got to a key point, and second, using pauses, strategic pauses, right before and right after her most important messages. That's it. That's the toolkit. Okay, so you might be thinking this is just some kind of stylistic trick, right? But it's not. There's actual science behind why these little vocal shifts are so incredibly persuasive. It literally taps right into how our brains are wired to process information and spot authority. So where does the science come in? Well, it starts with this number, 38%. Think about that. According to the famous Mehrabian model, when there's a disconnect between our words and our delivery, our tone of voice can be responsible for a whopping 38% of the message's impact. Let that sink in. That means how you sound can be way more important than the actual words you're saying. Okay, let's just hear the difference loud and clear. Here's Speaker A. This is a great opportunity and we should take action now because it will help us grow. Now listen to Speaker B. This is a great opportunity, and if we take action now, we will grow. I mean, come on. Which one sounds more credible, more in control? It's not even a contest, right? And this works because of something we can call the lean-in effect. When you drop your tone just a little, it creates this contrast, right? It's like a signal to everyone's brain that says, hey, pay attention, this part is important. It literally triggers a psychological response that makes people quiet down that inner voice and really truly focus on what you're saying. All right, so we get why it works. Now for the fun part, how to actually do it. Let's get into a super practical step-by-step guide you can literally start using today. Okay, technique number 1, lowering your voice. It's a simple 3-step deal. First, you just speak normally while you're giving context or general info. Then for step 2, you lower your tone just a bit for your main idea. And finally, step 3, you pause right after. Just for a second, let it sink in. And for technique number 2, strategic pausing, it's just as easy. Step 1, you pause for just 1 second right before your key point. Step 2, you deliver that point clearly and slowly. And step 3, you pause again. See, silence isn't weakness, it's pure confidence. It's what gives your words weight. Okay, now let's get a little more advanced with our toolkit. You've got options here. A pitch drop, that's making your voice deeper. That's your power move for critical info. It just commands focus. A volume dip, speaking more quietly, that pulls people in. It creates a sense of intimacy or urgency. And for those big, persuasive calls to action, oh yeah, you're going to want to combine them for maximum impact. And this is what I call the authority formula. This is where we put it all together. It's simple. Deliver your setup in your normal voice, then pause. Deliver your key idea in that lowered tone, then pause again. I'm telling you, that sequence is magnetic. It literally makes people stop whatever they're doing and just listen. So, okay, we've got the formula. But what does this actually look like in the real world? Because this isn't just theory, right? When you actually do this, the payoff is, well, it's immediate and it's huge. Let me tell you about Sarah. She's a manager who was dealing with the exact same stuff as Lisa. Her team was totally checked out during her updates, people were always interrupting her, and none of her big decisions would stick. Her voice just didn't have that authority. But then she started consciously practicing these two simple techniques. And after just 2 weeks, get this, the interruptions practically stopped. Team engagement went through the roof. Her ideas and decisions finally had some real weight. And maybe the best part? Senior leadership started noticing her. They saw her improved executive presence. So, here's your homework, your challenge. And you can do this today. In your very next meeting or conversation, just pick one key point you need to make. And when you get to it, consciously lower your voice just a little and use that pause right before and right after. That's all you have to do. Then just watch what happens. Because at the end of the day, influence isn't about being the loudest person in the room. It's not about shouting over everyone else. You don't need to speak louder to get people to listen. You just need to speak better. Speak less. Command more.